change? Well, if we just give them a justice, means that we cannot consider the backstory that happened of what do they do this or so. By prioritizing mercy over the justice, I think the judges could analyze first and then could know the backstory so that the judge will consider. Well, if we just focus on justice, it can lead us into dragging the wrong victim. Well, by prioritizing mercy over justice, I believe that the judge, can consider how long punishment that the victim will get. It either will be lesser or even more, depends on the backstory, because we analyze first. We cannot just give that person a mercy without we even know the background. And then it also create a fairness towards the victim, because I'm a human and we are here speak about human being. We speak about human rights. Everyone, of course, is a second change. Well, imagine if there's someone who just caught been stealing, like in Indonesia in 2025, there is old man caught been stealing a chicken, and then that man is straight going to the jail. I think that is so unfair, because first of all, the judge didn't know the reality. As my first speaker of this side already said that they might be doing this due to an economic financial, they cannot see the job or something, so they need to do the stealing stuff. And if we are prioritizing mercy over justice, we just cannot make that someone straight into the go to jail. No, we can analyze first about the victim, because first of all it will lead into a possibility that someone's the victim that we are speak about here. Just imagine if someone is caught being stealing and then the someone is straight led into the jail. Just imagine if that someone's all she needs is just the rehabilitation, because of the pressure of the society that she cannot go work and then she's stealing the chicken. So that's why I still believe that putting mercy over justice is the best way that we can do. And then if you ever say that law cannot stand by itself, that's totally wrong, because law can stand by itself, because law is the one who creates justice. And then if we do not put the mercy over of the justice, we can cause something more seriously, but if we put mercy over justice, we still consider it or even give them a rehabilitation that will help them stable enough. For an example, if you ever read about a news that says there's someone who's been murdered, his child and something, okay, and then you might think that the person who's been murdered is straight into the jail. But if we put the mercy over the justice, okay, we can analyze how that father of that child is have that the possibility of killing his baby, because first of all he is mentally unstable or something. By putting mercy on this, the judge can consider about it, and then the judge can create a positive mindset about that victim, and then tell them what is wrong with your action and then what is your consequences if you are doing that thing. So I, as the second speaker of the opposition team, still strongly and absolutely disagree if we are put justice over mercy, because I still believe we need to put mercy over justice. And then because I still believe that it is a good way to know the backstory before you can judge. And then in Indo, we know in our law system, so there is our system in Indo, especially in law aspect, there is 5. First is death punishment, and then second is jail punishment, and then the third is jail but the temporary one punishment, and then the last one is fun punishment. But it's also biji komende stubborn, known as unadjustable punishment. So by saying this, it can make a statement that the judge needs to be considerate it right about the punishment. Means that we are still on the house who's prioritize mercy over justice. And
please.
No thanks. And then there's the BG Commende is talk about dragging the stuff of the victims, the judge considered and draw the right. So I still believe that our team has the right things to do. Thank you. Prioritize over justice, because why we absolutely believe with having mercy prioritize is that we have a solution for. But before I go to that, I would like to lay down what our team's main points are. So first, the points from what my teammates have said. There are 3 points here. First, it will reduce the number of people who caught wrongly. So, the right justice and humanity where mercy is. So, having to prioritize mercy over justice, that means we are, yes, we can put mercy on whoever we want. Meaning that we here, why do we prioritize mercy over justice? Is that we want to see we want to know what their background and what their motive of doing crimes are. That way, we can know how to treat them or how to punish them for their actions. Because the right justice and humanity is where mercy is. Mercy,
Yeah, please.
no, thank you. Mercy is implemented by mercy is implemented by choice. However, it is decided by human rights, not favoritism or bias. Secondly, what if people have to do crime for a reason? Then where is the justice for them? That is why we want to see their background and when we want to see their motive for doing these crimes. Because having the people have to do these crimes intentionally for something, then if this something is more prone, for example, in Indonesia, there is many homeless people and etc.
Bidai, please.
Okay, yes.
You mentioned that on that point that mercy is knowing the background. So, do you think over and again that justice didn't have the aspect of that background too? Didn't consider the aspect? Thank you.
Okay, why did I say that mercy, justice? Okay, if we're looking at the reality here, for example, Indonesia, having to have justice, for example, from the government. Let's say the government puts a justice for this crime. Let's say, for example, what my second speaker has said. You have stolen a chicken and you have been prisoned, for example, 5 or 7 years. What if? Okay, so if we compare that to a government employee who has corrupted millions of money, then they just have gone to jail for 6 months. Is that what you call justice? Is that fair for
PI,
us?
please.
I'm still answering your PI. So here, so our mercy, the mercy here is we want to, our motive here is to have the right to put them in their place, to have to know what they have done and still have to punish them, but done rightly by knowing their background. And thirdly, we can know that having to know these motives, why these criminals do their crime, that way we can know crime movements that usually criminals do. By this, we can actually reduce the crime rates in any area or even in any nation. Having to know why they usually do these crimes, we can know their tactics and we can reduce the amount of crimes that there is. So, we do not believe that justice should be prioritized over mercy. They are not completely, so having this mercy, they're not completely off the hook. We believe that if we prioritize justice, we don't know the motive behind their crime. We are not saying that they don't get a punishment that is right for them for their crime, but having to reconsider what they deserve and what they need to do and fix. That can help them reflect or to make them realize what they have done. And here we want humanity. That is why we believe that there is good in every human being, and we believe that there is a second chance. Yes, we believe that there is a second chance because we want humanity, not just for the people who done crimes, or not just for the people who did not done crimes, but also for the people who done crimes, because they always have a reason for the crimes. And having them just to have the justice without considering their movement and actions, and just to give them a punishment just like that, they will think that there is no place for them. So here, our solution and why we believe that we prioritize mercy over justice, because our solution, one of our solutions is rehabilitation. Rehabilitation has many benefits to it. So having to rehabilitate these criminals in these rehabilitations, firstly, these rehabilitations will help educate them to reflect on themselves and to know what they have done and what the impact it will have an effect on the people or onto themselves. And having them to reflect on themselves, that means they know what's wrong, and they can actually, by having them to have a second chance, they can have a role in the society to help a more stable society. So many of the benefits from having this rehabilitation, it actually has a long-term benefit. Why? Because having them to be educated, to know what they have done or why they are wrong, that means okay, they know how to fix this, and they have a role. They can realize they have a role in the society, how they can help the world. And by doing that, rehabilitation actually reduces criminal rates. Having them to have a role in society, they will have contribute more into the society. So why do we believe that mercy should be prioritized over justice? Is because not only people have to deserve a second chance, but to know their background and to know where to put people's punishment and human rights are, then we will have a more balanced and a more healthy society, I guess you would say. So that is why we are here as the opposition. Thank you. That is all from us.
Rarely end in prison because they could and kill another prisoner. So yes, serial killer and in rehabilitation. That's, I'm just pulling some facts. Okay. The second speaker also quote the second point of Pancasila, which is, I quote, kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab. Adil is fair, beradab is good behavior, and the good behavior here is to other human, which in many ways is mercy. So I think that kemanusiaan yang adil dan beradab is more to our point, that you're just pointing out that we're still right, that mercy is still above justice, that we need to prioritize mercy above justice, because even the second point of Pancasila says so. Because justice, keadilan is justice, and justice in many ways is mercy. So these criminals also deserve their own versions of justice, which mean mercy. The government team always mentioning about corruption or bigger cases, but they fail to explain further about what happened to people who did smaller case. Like they rarely mention about theft or robbery. They keep always mentioning about corruption, which is like, when will you talk about the lesser case? In lesser case, they deserve bigger mercy, because theft and robbery, people who did it usually was being pressed by their economic. But in our side, we also mentioned it that in corruption, if we gave them mercy, it's not just we blindly gave them forgiving from what they have done. We also view their motives behind it. But if in corruption, they mostly never have motives, so we didn't just blindly forgiving from what they done. Just like before, one of the speaker from the government team said we will just forgive it, and no, why we seeing the motives will do good is because we can give the perfect punishment, what kind of punishment, whether it will be a prison punishment or maybe rehabilitation. Okay, mercy doesn't mean reducing all of this punishment the criminal deserve. And then I want to mention that this third speaker twice saying Indonesian words that actually didn't need it. It's belas kasihan and apa, and I think it's not supposed to be speak. It's not like the point of Pancasila we need to speak Indonesian. It's just you really slip it at that time. This is why we propose that argument as the opposition team is right. Thank you.